it's really important when you're F1 fishing to have all your stuff set up correctly. Really important to have your side tray set at the correct height. So you'll see here I've got a large side tray so I can fit all of my bits that I'll need during the day on it. I have some spare rigs, I have all my hook lengths that I'll need, and most importantly I have my bait. It's really important to have your bait close to hand when you're shallow fishing so that you can feed easily. You don't even have to look where you're putting your hand to get the bait. Also, an essential thing is to make sure you've got your rigs and your top kits secure and close by so that you can change your rigs throughout the day. And a final point that I think is really important when you're shallow fishing and you're catching a lot of F1s is to have your landing net to hand. I personally like to have it here so that I can pick it up and ship it out really quickly, and I haven't got to worry about putting it to the side or picking it up, you know, from it around me or anything like that. And I know it's going to sit there all day. Another top tip for when you're fishing for F1 shallow is to use as short a line as possible between the tip of your float and your elastic. This will allow you to hit many more bites. Obviously this depends on the conditions and also fishery rules. Also, when you're fishing for F1s, try and fish as close as you possibly can. This will not only allow you to be more accurate with your feeding, but it'll also mean that you're a lot quicker when you're shipping in and out, and you'll catch fish at a much quicker rate. And there you are. So as soon as you hook one, you can ship back really quickly. You're straight onto your top kit, and hopefully it'll be in the net within seconds. So another couple of really important factors that I always consider when I'm speed fishing for F1s is roller placement and the size of my pole roller. You don't want to be using a small pole roller. The larger your pole roller, the better really, because when I hook a fish, I don't want to be looking around to see where it is. I literally want to ship back as quick as I can, pop it on the roller and know it's there. You'll also notice the angle that the pole roller's at, so that when I'm shipping out, the rig's close to the water. When you're using these short rigs, if they're dangling out the water, they'll have a tendency to wrap around your pole tip, or the float will wrap around itself and just again delay your fishing time. You'll also notice I'm using a pole sock. This means that every single time that I ship back and I've hooked the fish and landed it, that my pole is in the same position, so I haven't got to look searching for my pole. It isn't going to get blown away. Another point that's really important as well when you're fishing this style of fishing, again all links with this, is how quickly you can net the fish. It's really important when you're catching small F1s that you use an elastic that is light enough for when you hook them that you're not pulling the hook or you're having trouble with losing fish when they first take the bait. But that when you ship back, you're not having to strip loads of elastic out either. So I aim to have enough elastics that when I lift my top kit up, the elastic is just touching the water, and I know I haven't got to strip any elastic out because my rig's so short that the F1 will pop up without me having to touch the side puller at all. It's really important when you're speed fishing, as you want to catch fish as quickly as possible, that you have multiple rigs set up at different depths. So basically in a match I could have 3 or 4, maybe even 5 or 6 top kits set up, ranging from 12 inches through to 2 or 3 foot deep. And the key thing is that you are always keeping this short lash between your float tip and your tip of your elastic. So to do this, you have to have multiple rigs set up. Plus it saves so much time. You just pick the rig up, you know what depth it's at, and you can, if you catch on that one, you can come back to it later in the match knowing that you're in the exact same depth as you were earlier on.